Excuse me, that question brought up somewhat of a schism, somewhat of a dichotomy, I think, between some of the councilors, some of the candidates, and the administration, and the current mayor. So if we look at, the question is, should the role of a new mayor, a strong mayor, be that of manager, taking care of day-to-day issues, or also combined, balance that with things that I think a lot of people in Santa Fe see hold near and dear, their vision and their values. We see reports out, Newsweek magazine, I was sent that by Glenn, an article in Newsweek magazine, we should jail mayors in sanctuary cities. So as mayor, a strong mayor in a new system, how would you balance both the day-to-day and making sure that you uphold and enforce the values of people here in Santa Fe, voters and citizens of Santa Fe? We're going to start this round of questions. Same question for everyone with Mr. Trujillo.
Thank you. Under the new leadership, a mayor needs to be active in all aspects of city government. You are the new leader. You're making the decisions as to who you put in these offices. But I think everybody knows me. I'm everywhere in this city. This is my city. I love it. And you have to be involved. You have to go to the parks. You have to go to the businesses. You have to go to every part of this town. I mean, I can ask people right here, right now, do you know where Toyo is? Do you know where Banana Hill is? Do you know where Barrio Cañada is? I do know where those places are because I've been there. It's about being part of this community. A mayor needs to be up front. He's going to lead, but he needs to be interacting with everyone. It's not about, yes, you come into the office, you sit there, you make your decisions, you meet with staff. No. You need to go out and meet with staff. You need to go out there and work with them so that you understand exactly what's going on. I can say this about councilors up here. We have been working. We go work out with our workers. We know what they're doing. You're the leader of a city. If you don't know what the people that do the work are doing, you're not a good leader. Because a good leader will roll up his sleeves, he will get in the dirt, and he will work with them, and he'll understand exactly what their job is. Because by doing that, the mayor now understands the deficiencies that are happening, why people aren't able to do their job, and because of that, he'll be able to direct the people that he has under those departments. This is what our employees need. This is the technology they need. This is what they need in order to do their job. That's been the problem we have in this city. Our workers do not have the proper technology. They don't have the proper equipment to get a job done. And when it comes down to who does it hurt? It hurts you, the taxpayers. And you, the taxpayers, are the ones who pay salaries. You pay for the services that you deserve. So the new mayor has to be involved in all aspects of the city, not just the government.
Thank you, Mr. Ives.
Thank you. When Councilor Wurzburger and I sponsored the charter amendments that changed the character of the mayor's position and turned it into a full-time position, what was in my mind was a distinction between management and leadership. And I think there is a distinction to be drawn there. We have a city manager. We have a deputy city manager. They are charged certainly with the day-to-day operations of the city. This strong mayor position is there to be a leader across Santa Fe, and that carries with it various responsibilities. It's interesting as I have contemplated what a day in the life of the new mayor would be like. And when I think of what that means to me, I tend to break it down this way. I see it as 4 hours almost every day that are spent reaching across the city of Santa Fe, getting out to the businesses, getting out to the people all across the city, talking with them about the issues, talking with them about what the problems they encounter are, talking with our businesses, finding solutions. I see an additional 4 hours in every day spent at City Hall, working with the various departments, working through the issues on the city side, including working with the council to enact proper policies, to implement the vision that we would build for the city of Santa Fe, and then probably another somewhere between 1 to 4 hours celebrating the city. It is remarkable how many events happen on a daily basis where the presence of the leadership from the city is an important message to send across the city to everybody that we are paying attention, we are grateful for that work. And so it is about leadership. It is about getting out, meeting people, working with the city, finding those solutions, bringing the city together.
Thank you, Mr. Maestas.
Thank you. I think there's a lot of misunderstandings about this new strong mayor form of government that we're going to usher in after Election Day in March. Really, the city manager's role is going to remain the same. He's going to be the chief administrative official. He will have full authority to hire and fire all staff, with the exception of the mayoral appointees. And those are and remain the city manager, the city clerk, and the city attorney. The only difference in the charter is that it really affects the council's role in those appointment selections by the mayor. The charter today says that the mayoral appointments will be selected or appointed with the advice and consent of the city council. The change just strikes advice. So the mayor still has to get the city council's approval of his primary 3 appointments, and those haven't changed. And so what should the new mayor do? His salary's going to go up from $29,000 to $110,000, but I think the role is going to remain the same. But I think it should not be generic. I think it needs to reflect many of the contemporary issues that we're facing right now. We have a town that's somewhat divided, and some of the issues are more temporal that maybe could be tied back to the soda tax, but there's other, I think, undertones of division that I think the next mayor needs to address. And that is, how do we dispel this disparity of the allocation of resources between the North and the South? How do we reinvent civic engagement to give everyone an opportunity to access their elected officials? Those are the issues of the day that the new mayor needs to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Noel.
So, local government is often not sexy. It is about weeds and parking and traffic and that sort of thing. And I think often of what Mayor David Koss has said, who I'm very honored to have as my campaign chair, which is that you know what you want to do. You have to keep your eyes on the horizon, because there will always be some immediate issue in parking or weeds or traffic or somebody's fence or something like that. And this change to the system is really an opportunity to strengthen the culture and leadership of the city. And during my time in studying entrepreneurship, I have a good friend who said, really strong companies are established with culture so that everybody knows what the company's about and can make decisions that are informed for moving forward. And the city is much the same. The mayor needs to establish the culture, and we need a reset where we have a new set of morale. The city union said recently to me, morale is non-existent. And so we need to reset city government, reach into the arms and toes and legs and fingers and every appendage of the city and ask people how they can do their jobs better, because the frontline workers know. And that goes hand in hand with a process where we also have a new city attorney who is willing to pursue progressive discipline and make sure, because anybody who's managed within this special organization that is the city, that has a collective bargaining agreement and a strong union, needs to understand how that works. It's a unique management skill and management situation. And we need to be able to pursue progressive discipline and hold people accountable who are not doing their job, but we really need to reset morale and ask the frontline workers what they need and shift the culture so that managers are responsible for empowering workers.
Started and ran a very successful entrepreneurial business. I think I understand what is at the heart of both management and leadership. Management is about doing things right, and leadership is about doing the right things. and the next mayor, the strong mayor, will have to do both. That means hiring a team that can actually execute on the city's many plans that have been developed over the years but never quite brought to fruition. We have plans for housing, we have plans to diversify the economy, we have all kinds of plans, but we haven't managed to get them implemented. It means, as Kate says, creating a culture where people really are excited about coming to work in the morning and feel that their time and energy, their purpose is really respected, and they feel that coming into the city as an employee is a job that is honored and respected. It means trying to make city government the most user-friendly city in America. Santa Fe should be user-friendly for everyone. It should be easy to interact with your city government and to get the things done that you want to get done, not just the things that you depend on the city to do for you. The leadership part is about articulating a vision for the future while protecting our past. Santa Fe has a storied past that we should all be not only proud of, but celebrate, as Peter said, at all times. We ought to be the most remarkable capital city in America, not just for our history, but for how we look and feel and perform today. Ultimately, the vision that we need to aspire to is a city that is inclusive, that is compassionate, and that works for everyone in Santa Fe fairly and equally.